Regarding the question whether or not businesses should be responsible for protecting the environment. Thank you for joining us here at Harvard. I see that we have a lot of big companies out there, including Apple, McDonald's, and even Coke. My name is Kendyll, and I'm a recent graduate from Harvard Business School with a major in business administration. I'm looking to start my own business someday, so I wanted to get the opinions of our three panelists to answer the question whether or not businesses should be responsible for protecting the environment. Today, we brought in Gabriel Puente, who graduated summa cum laude from Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College. Today, he is working as a quality control safety environmental manager at American Airlines. Next, we have Qianqian Wang. She is a graduate from Drexel College with a global science major. She is currently an environmental specialist working for the Environmental Protection Agency. Last, we have Caleb Calderon. He received a bachelor's degree in finance and accounting from Ohio State University. Currently, he is Chief Executive Officer at General Electric Energy Management. So, let me ask the question, should businesses be responsible for protecting the environment? Many businesses are spending the money to become environmentally friendly today, and I think that this is something that every business has to consider today with our society. I hope today to dig deeper into the panel discussion of our three panelists to answer this question. Each panelist is going to be given no more than 2 minutes to answer these questions, and I would appreciate if the audience could save their questions until the very end of the panel. Again, thank you for coming, and thank you to our panelists. Caleb Calderon, the first question is for you. How has your company taken action to protect the environment?
I would just like to reiterate what Kendyll said. My name is Caleb Calderon, and I'm the CEO for General Electric Energy Management, and I'm a proud alumni of the Buckeye State. There have been many actions from our company that has been taken towards environmental protection. And I'm just going to talk about 3 specific avenues today. First was in August 2011. We achieved the rare LEED Platinum certification for our data center, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, from the U.S. Green Building Council. To signify how rare it is, less than 10 data centers worldwide have actually achieved this rating. And the reason being for this is that our center actually operates 34% more energy efficiency than others worldwide. We also launched a recycling program in 2011 of September, and steps to address the problem of refrigerators being dumped in landfills, which through the technology which also will allow the landfill waste of a refrigerator to be reduced by 85%. Lastly, we announced plans late last year to build a solar panel farm in Aurora, Colorado. Once it's fully operational, the farm will be able to power 80,000 new homes, and it will highlight a $600 million investment in GE Solar business area. And to further prove our progress at being socially responsible, according to Fortune magazine, General Electric was ranked 13th in the world's most admired companies in 2011. These are all ways that General Electric has taken action to protect the environment.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Gabriel Puente, the next question is directed at you. What does a consumer advocate have to offer towards the advancement of environmental agenda?
As Kendyll was saying, my name is Gabriel Puente, and I am the Quality Control, Safety, and Environmental Manager at American Airlines. And now to answer your question, I believe at this point in our country's economic and environmental journey, there's little correlation between consumer and environmental priorities. However, it is important to understand that consumer advocates do not only see one point of view. In that respect, I don't completely renounce the ideas of the green movement. I believe that we as a human population should work together for the benefit of the environment and to improve our state of living. But the industrial development that I'm advocating will certainly not harm some non-human environments. It is more of a blessing to the human environment. Alex Epstein, one of the advocates of industrialization, said once in a speech that industrial development gives us the tools to create a healthy and sustainable environment. I think by this he is saying that industrialization provides a way of operating that is neither harmful nor destructive if used in the correct way. Green movements are more of a consumerist idea, I believe, in that they force you to replace something that is already working with something that is supposed to cut down on pollutant discharge in hopes that you eventually feel satisfied with the fact that you are somehow saving the earth. For example, replacing a light bulb with an energy-efficient light bulb will cut down on energy costs, but it won't save the environment. And it won't save the environment, but it will probably make you feel better. To answer your question, there is little effort that I will put forth in ways of creating an environmental agenda. I believe that if we utilize the resources that we can attain now, we can work on creating healthy and efficient industries instead of looking for other resources that will do the same job.
Thank you for your opinion, Gabriel. With that being said, I'd like to ask all the panelists, should businesses sacrifice their profits for environmental impacts? Qianqian, I would like to start with you.
Just like Kendyll introduced, my name is Qianqian. I'm working for the Environmental Protection Agency, and my organization and I both believe that protecting environment needs to be everyone's mind and needs to be everyone's responsible. Many companies are taking action for going green, like the General Electric and the United Airlines. But many other companies may think they are companies, so they won't sacrifice the profits for only the environmental impact. If I was a businessman, I would think that too. I won't sacrifice my profits. But actually, if you use money to do something for the environmental protection, it's not just like profits, just like sacrifice the profits. It's more like a long-term investment. Just your cooperative partner is your society, the earth, or even yourself in the later years. So as for the question, nobody will force someone or some company to go green if you aren't going to against the law. But my organization and I both encourage everyone and every company to go green.
All right, thank you, Qianqian. I thought it was interesting that you referred to it as an investment instead of a sacrifice. Thank you. Gabriel, I'd like you to answer this question next. Should businesses sacrifice profits for environmental impacts? What do you think?
Well, to add on to what Qianqian said earlier, I agree with the environmental protection. That environmental protection can be seen as an investment. For example, my company, American Airlines, has made green efforts in the way of cutting down on emissions, as well as partnering with the EPA in 2009 to undergo a change in our emissions council. We joined a program called Climate Leaders with the EPA, and by that, we promised to reduce the amount of greenhouse gas by 30% by the year 2050. I'm telling you this first to ensure that it is not assumed we have not made green efforts, and second, to also ensure that it is understood that I'm not completely against going green. Now, to answer your question, I don't believe that companies should sacrifice the profits for environmental impacts, especially if their company is driven by the use of high emissions resources. My company uses Jet A1 or kerosene to fuel our airplanes. To sacrifice the resources that literally fuel our company and to replace it with some other form of fuel, as some advocates have suggested, is implausible. In that same sense, however, I believe that some companies can afford to cut out small pollutants in their industry while only seeing a small loss in profitability.
Thank you. So you do not necessarily think that companies should sacrifice profits, but you're not technically against going green or protecting the environment.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.